I started thinking about, okay, 2019, he dropped 50 versus the Clippers.
Yeah.
All right. But the way he impacted the game, the amount of pressure that was on him leading into this game. James Harden was out there with one leg. Kyrie Irving's on the sideline, you know what I mean? Like, it was KD. Obviously, other guys stepped up, but this game will go down as the moniker for KD's career. It really will, because he is this special of a talent offensively. He's the greatest scorer the game has ever seen. And last night proved it. It proved it.
You know, I discovered a guy basically last night. What I mean by that is not necessarily the points, but everything else that he did. Mm-hmm. The 17 boards, the 10 assists, the moving around. I hadn't seen KD move around like that in a long time in terms of getting away from people. He was not just standing still waiting for the ball to come to him. He was going to get the ball. He actually was not in a situation last night where you looked at and said, oh, this is game 4. They're all over him. P.J. Tucker's not letting him breathe. No, he created separation many times over. And so when you think about, I can't speak to the greatest performer because I didn't see every single game that he's ever played. I'm not like Jay. Jay covers the NBA every single day. But for me, in my eyes, being able, as Jay said, to come into the game with the type of pressure that must have been placed on him or might have been feeling, to know that, okay, I'm potentially going to be out here by myself, although Harden did later on join him, but he was on the floor as a cardboard cutout, which in the end, it certainly helped, but it wasn't like he was adding any scoring points or doing things of that nature. But it helped.
Support, yeah.
It was there to support him and take some of the pressure off of him. But can you imagine going into the game, because the narrative prior to the game is, what is Kevin Durant going to be? What is he going to do? Are we going to look at a guy after the game and say, well, see, here we go? Is that the conversation that's going to be had? Is it going to be had that he isn't LeBron James? He's not this, not that. Can he carry a team? Oh, he needed to go away from OKC to Golden State to win a big game. He had other players around him. Well, he answered the call last night. And that question should never be brought up again as far as Kevin Durant. Never again it should be brought up, whether or not, I know it's not a championship game, but that was the closest thing that you could see to a championship in that performance.
Well, it felt like that must win for both teams, right? You know, pivotal game 5s usually are when its series is tied 2-2, but you know, what we saw is a superstar being exactly that on that level. And for KD, you know, talking about his performance, a lot of times you don't get a lot out of him in interviews, but it's, you know, he even understood the moment, where he was, what he had to do last night. He talked about it after the game.
I know the perception of me is that I can score the basketball well, but you know, any team that I've played on, I've been asked to do pretty much everything from rebounding to defending to initiating to scoring. I might not be, I might not do it all the time, but I do a little bit of everything out there. So I knew at some point that coach would ask me to screen, rebound, defend, bring the ball up, score, shoot threes. So I just work on everything I can and practice. And when the game comes around, I just got to be ready to pull, be ready to do anything. So tonight was one of those nights.
Not lost in this also is the fact that Kevin Durant played the entire game, 48 minutes. And this is, as we've talked about, 2 years removed from an Achilles rupture that for a lot of NBA players.
He was the best player 2 years ago in the world, and he still is the best player today. 48 minutes. He scored 49 points on 23 shots. 23 shots. It's not like Kevin Durant took 35, 40 shots for 49 points. And by the way, they were down 17 points in the third quarter. Like, the first half wasn't like KD was popping off and it was going to be a prolific night.
Yeah.
You thought the Bucks were going to beat the brakes off them. I mean, the Bucks defensively put together an incredible first half. And then the second half, you just saw the Bucks shrink and shrink and shrink.
Well, we'll discuss
and you saw
them.
KD expand, expand.
How was the building? Because I talked about that last night too, how important it was when you felt like this was a wounded animal in the Nets that was facing a real tough situation. You're asking now one of the stars of the big three to carry the team. Could he do it? And in his own building, and I said yesterday too, you're going to need the building. You're going to need them. And you're going to need that because the role players, Jeff Green, who was great, Blake Griffin at the end, got some things done for you as well. You needed the crowd to help the supporting cast kind of, rise up a little bit too. all of that together, all of that mattered. I think all of it factored.
You guys watched the game last night,
Of course.
So I've been saying this for a while, and tell me if you guys got the same feel. I don't know, Key, if you've ever been up to Rucker Park, but if you have, okay. Like, it's a polished version of Rucker Park. That is how they play. It is. Stephen Curry is one of the most entertaining players in basketball. I would pay crazy money to go see him play. I would also go pay crazy money. I do pay crazy money. I have courtside seats because the way those guys play, I said at the beginning of the year, it's wop, wop, wop. It feels like there's a guy on the microphone the same way it is at Rucker Park, yelling behind you, saying, here comes the move, oh, and he yanks him. Like, it feels like that type of environment. And that was, LeBron said it last night, that's what we witnessed. You were a witness.
It was, fourth quarter was special. I mean, I was watching it obviously from television, and you could just tell they moved the ball around well. It was no ball stoppage. Things was just fluid, man. It was flowing. It was flowing real well.
Yeah,
you could just tell.
He got into it, no doubt about it. And, of course, the reaction around the league via Twitter, you saw it already on ESPN2 with some of it. LeBron James, greatness, appreciate it while you can, people. Allen Iverson, you great killer. Draymond Green, goddamn slim. Donovan,
for real.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, just wow. Larry Nance Jr., Kevin Durant, your favorite player's favorite player. Kevin Love, greatness from KD Trey, incredible performance. The great Isaiah Thomas, let it be known. And then Tim Hardaway Jr., Rucker Park, Durant.
Can I just tell you, I've literally, like, KD watches so much of Michael Jordan. That mentality, like, that felt like a little bit like that MJ-ish feel to it, right? Like, the similarity is how it doesn't matter who's guarding me, nobody can guard me. I am the option. Let me carry the load. I got it.
Yeah.
This is what I do.